they do seem to accept that this is going to be a pretty tough couple of weeks, not moan about it and get on with it. And most of them give of their all. You know, they really put 100% into it.
2-6, right, 2-6, hey! Right, hold it there.
Sails, they seem very ancient and not capable of driving the ship. But when you're going about and you lost the wind for a time, you were just in limbo. You didn't seem to be going anywhere. It is a great sense of nature's power once the sails were actually full again.
Heave! 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 Pull on it! Heave! Heave!
We expose them to the sea and a large sailing vessel, and obviously they do learn how to handle some parts of it, but we can't obviously produce seamen in 2 weeks. We're not really here to do that. We're to provide them, the schooner provides an environment of living together, working together, and overcoming difficulties together.
We're aboard the Malcolm Miller, one of the 2 topsail schooners financed and run by the Sail Training Association to give young people a taste of life and work at sea.
Okay. Heave! 2-6, heave! 2-6, heave! 2-6, heave!
Crews of boys and girls team up to set sail in them through every condition that wind and wave can bring.
Heave! Heave!
There can be no passengers aboard a sailing ship that has to be worked every mile of the way, and the schooners certainly offer plenty of opportunity for muscle building. Although these ships were designed to be labor-intensive, it's not only sheer physical strength that gets them driving through the water, as any of the girls' crews who take them to sea will testify.
8 a.m. in the port of Hartlepool, and the girls are beginning to learn the ropes. There are more than 3 dozen trainees setting sail on the adventure of a lifetime. They've come from all over Britain, most without any sailing experience, let alone knowing how to handle a 300-ton schooner with masts topping 112 feet above the waterline. But the object isn't to turn out yachting experts, it's to develop in a group from all sorts of social backgrounds the importance of teamwork and self-discipline when the going gets tough.
The first few days they'll find exceedingly tough, adjusting to the new routines and the lack of sleep and the hard physical work. Then they'll start to understand a little of what's going on the ship.
It takes 10 girls to put up a sail, but it's made that way. After about 3 or 4 days, the girls click onto it quicker than the boys. They get into the fact that if they pull together, the sail will go up quicker, more efficiently. The boys are usually 10 individuals until about a week. The girls pick it up in 3 or 4 days.
Really need to work together. I think it helps you realise how much you do need to depend on people in a team. You can't afford to do your own thing. You have to all work together. I think that's one of the main things I've learned, really.
When you sense the urgency of a situation because there's yards of canvas flapping around your ears and somebody's bawling at you to ease off on the throat halyard, you do it and you suddenly realise what it is to work with other people and to work together.
The Sir Winston Churchill fully rigged carries almost 1,000 square yards of sail, and on a calm day every inch is needed. It's not individual strength that counts, but teamwork. Commands must be obeyed instantly.
Right, let's really set this throat up tight. Come on then. 2, 6, hey! 2, 6, hey!
Working on the topsail is a dangerous job, and I wouldn't like to be up here when the boat's riding a storm. No trainee has to come up here, but I'm glad I did. It really gave me a feeling of what life must have been like on the sailing ships of the past when they carried their cargoes of tea and wool from one side of the world to the other, as fast as possible and in all kinds of weather.
Southwest to west 6, occasionally gale 8 at first, moderate, locally poor.
Go on, everybody on deck, all hands! Now! Heave away! Heave away! Go
right, go on. No, he... All right, sorry.
We saw the squall coming up, so we took the forecourse up in its gear, hanging on the lower yard, and the boatswain was there. We had a crowd of us volunteers to go up aloft to try and stow the sail before the squall came. We went up. The boatswain got out about 2 yards under the lower yard on the port side. I was up just behind him. We strapped ourselves on. The others were halfway up the shrouds. And then just right there, the wind sort of hit. And the ship went right over to about, I don't know, 45 degrees, something like that. And of course, all the sails started flapping and banging and crashing about. And I think that's probably the most exhilarating experience I've ever had in my life, I think.
I was going up the rigging on the side and it just tipped the boat right over. It was halfway up. But it didn't feel like I was there. It felt like I was just watching it from, somewhere else. It was excellent.
Well done. Stand by. Back to beach. Okay, no more tons. Come down.
I was just about to climb into the crow's nest, so I just had to hang on for grim death and clip onto the ratlins up there. It's not an experience I'd like to have to go through again.
Anybody know what a reef knot's for? Right, that's why it's got that name. If you reach over to the opposite side of the boom and stop admiring the scenery.
I didn't think the hours would be like there was. I didn't know you'd be working from 12 until 4 every other night. Past 3 or 4 days I've had about 3 hours of sleep every night. And you're falling asleep as you're walking. You can't keep up.
Right. Stand by to go about.
Just now, the ship has to put about to sail off on another tack. This is a moment that calls for some nice timing to keep the ship forging ahead while going through the wind. Get it wrong, with the sails flapping uselessly dead into wind, and she can stop and even start going backwards.
Spot on, sir. Yeah. Let's draw forward! Starboard 20. Starboard 20, sir. How's your head?
100, sir.
Stand by attack! Set up 4 running backstays! Okay, make it over that! Gear 130. Gear 130, sir.
Take a deep breath.
How away we go! Next! That's right, roll him in. Good. On the shoulder. Heave! 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 On the outer jib, come on! Well done. Jump on the other jib. Jump on the inner jib. Get it on. Get it on now, otherwise you lose it. That's a lot better. About 2 feet. He's down about 2 feet.
Heave! 2-6, heave! 2-6, heave! I've made an enormous amount of friends. It's been a tremendous experience, really enthralling, very exciting, especially.
I think when the going gets tough, it's just about your own sort of, self-discipline and making yourself go further. Just the sheer strength of wind and waves together, and you realise how tiny you are in comparison. And that, in a way, is quite quelling, and you just do your utmost to get through it, sort of see your way through it.
So an action-packed fortnight is drawing to a close, and the Churchill and the Miller head for home. Sails have to be stowed, and the ship prepared for harbour and the coming of the next crew. It's a time for reflection on the lessons that have been learned from a voyage in a topsail schooner.
I was very proud of myself that I'd been able to work on the ship, and I felt I'd done quite a good job for myself, and the feeling of how everybody pulls together. I mean, there was lads from Scotland, Liverpool, all over the country, even from Germany, who had never seen before, probably won't see again, but well, within a few days of being on the ship, how we sort of came together, and the sort of feeling of camaraderie as well, it was just great, it really was.